I work with a lot of people who are stuck in the same situation day in and day out. The only thing that's different, it's the next day, Monday, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday. It's a whole cycle. And we help create that. We create our own cycle. Once we learn to forgive ourselves, life's a lot easier. We can breathe a lot because fear gets in there as well. How many of you have ever been afraid to walk away from a so-called friendship or relationship because you didn't want to be alone? Someone's helping you financially. Someone is there for you. No matter how dysfunctional that person is or how bad they treat you, they've told you or you've told yourself that that's the only way you deserve to be treated. You don't. You deserve to be treated better. We all deserve to be treated the way we really want to. And that's with love and kindness and caring. But it starts with us. I'm learning to forgive myself with all the stuff that took place with my mother and grandmother. I was a horrible human being to them at certain parts of my life. Lying, manipulating, stealing from them, angry at them. For what reason? I was angry because I didn't have a dad. That wasn't my mother's fault. My dad was a man who was abusive and beat my mother. I was so happy he was out of our lives. All they ever did was take care of me. But for whatever reason, to this day, I can't figure out why I was so adamant and mean and cruel at times. And that kills me. I spend a lot of time with tears over that still. And it feels good to know that I can feel that. In the past, I couldn't feel anything. And that's tough when you don't feel anything. Then it's never going to be anything that's going to be beneficial to you. It's like they say there are people out there that are psychopaths and sociopaths who have no concern for other people. They just do whatever they need to do. And they don't care. I think we've all met some people like that. We all have those tendencies. But getting back to forgiveness, on a day-to-day basis, there's certain things you can do to forgive yourself. Number one, get up in the morning and start it with a great morning. Part of forgiveness is doing things positive for yourself so you know that you deserve an opportunity. You know you deserve good things. When I was in that really bad place of hating myself and discussing with myself, my eating disorder, my sex addiction, and gambling addiction were phenomenal because I kept my mind away from anything. Then when I stopped using all of them to help me deal with the crap that I've done, then I started saying, okay, I can forgive myself for this towards myself. I can forgive myself for this behavior, but I have to address that behavior just like any of us. I have to address the situation just like any of us. So looking in the right place is right in front of us. When people talk about forgiveness, someone said to me yesterday, how come you can't forgive this person? I said, you don't know the whole story. I'm always amazed and it upsets and pisses me off when you have these people that are righteous. Well, you just have to forgive somebody. That's the only way you're going to do better. That's the only way you're going to heaven. Really? Last time I checked, there were wars over the years that were the Catholic Church and throughout history. I'm pretty sure some of those people are in heaven and they did a lot of killing. If you look in the Bible, a lot of killing. A lot of things that if we did nowadays, hell, we'd end up in prison. But the reality is those people that are in my life, I keep boundaries. And I've got to get better with that. And I have to keep boundaries with myself. I have to forgive myself on a day-to-day basis. One of those things is I love it when people say, God, forgive me for what I'm about to do. Really? You think about it, you plan something that might not be good, might not be right, might be toxic, might be dysfunctional, might be hurting, but you're asking for forgiveness. Another expression is, I'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. And people that I've heard say that, they say it like it's funny. It's like in work, you take a chance on something. Personal life, you take a chance. Really? Why would you rather ask for forgiveness than permission? Why are you asking anybody for permission? What are you asking people for permission for? If you're in a job, you have guidelines. If it's personal, you have boundaries. If it's spiritual, it's open for any interpretation that you choose to. Even though we have everybody out there wanting to interpret Bible and the Quran and the Torah, whatever, that's their, God bless them. That's their deal. But forgiveness to me is looking in the mirror and realizing that I'm not a bad person. I'm not an ugly person. I'm not a cruel person. I'm not a diabolical person. Now, at times in my life, I've acted out in those ways, but that doesn't define me and it doesn't make me who I am. If you think about it, how many different people out there do people follow? social media. You follow people sometimes because you want to be them. You live your life through them because maybe you can't do that. Maybe you're ashamed of yourself. Maybe you're embarrassed financially, whatever the situations are. But when you go on certain places and look for guidance and it's misguided, how does that work? A young lady I do some work with, she said she went on TikTok the other day and she was listening to a guy. It made her feel really good. He said that he worked in certain fields. No, didn't say what it was. So she sent him a message and she sent him a situation. He sent her back a message stipulating that, oh, it just seems like you're a closet narcissist. For almost 24 hours, her life was almost destroyed. She had no idea what to do. And so she called me and I said, here's the situation. You don't know the guy. You shared one situation. We all have narcissistic tendencies. And if anybody doesn't think they do, then I'm sorry, then you're lying to yourself. But she believed what this man had told her. She couldn't even tell me his name. She couldn't even tell me what handle he went by or what identity. And it was just a very odd situation. So how many of us listen to people who aren't qualified? Now, I'm not saying that you need to see a therapist or a psychologist or a medical professional, because many of them I work with and many of them aren't qualified to help you. It could be your friend. It could be someone you don't meet, you don't know, and you meet them. It could be anybody that helps you, because a lot of people have gone through it and many of them do better. I know a lot of people that don't trust therapists. I trust some. One of the reasons we don't trust them is they're great at memorizing. They go to school, they memorize everything, but human nature and human contact, they're not good at. They think because they have a degree and because they have a license that they know better. No, that doesn't work for me. I've learned more about myself from people who aren't in therapy, who aren't therapists, or aren't doctors. I've learned from people because I interact with people every day. We go to therapy how often? Maybe once a week? If you go every 2 weeks. So you've got what? 1 hour out of the week that you're going to sit there and talk to someone who's going to tell you, be good to yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself. What the hell are you going to do the next 14 days or 13 days before you meet that person again? That's the tough part. You can build boundaries, you can forgive yourself, but it also is in different compartments about forgiveness.